my big ass brain couldn't think of any way to get that that axle stub off, so it was just 2 C's. We wound up replacing it with the extra intermediate shaft that we had laying around. So,
well, we stole it off of someone else's engine, so we had to buy them an intermediate shaft, which will be here next week.
Yeah.
And we took theirs.
Yeah. Everything worked out.
Unboxing. Oh, and for you people who live where rust exists, just put this on stuff.
Oh yeah,
Anti-seize.
that's vague enough that makes no sense contextually.
It makes so much
sense. Put it in the
sense.
transmission side and stick it in there so it meshes with the gear oil.
I mean,
it stops the synchros from seizing.
You don't need any oil then.
Yeah.
It lasts forever. No, you put it on the spline so that when you bring it to a shop who's just trying to take care of your car, can get the axle off the intermediate shaft. We're in a place where rust doesn't exist, but
You can glob it on there like a hat.
I didn't even glob it on there.
See, that's the side that always gets rusty, and then you gotta take the air chisel and try to get it out. And if it's a Miata, then it just doesn't come out.
Yeah. Good old NA Miatas. Oh, come on. There we go.
Yeah, dude. Dang old axle, man. Try to not crush my finger.
Yeah, I was trying to hold it up.
Wow. And just like that,
It's all done.
all done.
2 seconds after, what, 3 hours of big braining and not working?
Hey, you gotta admit, that slide hammer idea was sort of...
It would have been really cool if it worked.
Now, this bolt here torques to infinite foot-pounds with the impact gun.
Infinite. Come on.
Just like every other bolt in the suspension on this car.
No, we actually use torque specs.
Liar.
If this would go on.
Don't lie to them. We just
Ow.
started the channel and you're already lying.
That's how you get big.
Oh, yeah. Pretend like you do everything to the T so that people can't talk shit in the comments.
If you ever done one of these before, put the top bolt in first. That way, you know it's all the way up.
So if you guys missed the specifications for these, you apply generous amounts of white thread lock and then run it until the gun stops at roughly 400 pound-feet, and then 2 small tack welds on either side to make sure it doesn't come off. Brayden will be demonstrating that for the class today.
I missed it. What are we doing? Running the gun and then tack welding it?
Yeah.
Okay.
With white thread lock on it. Pick it up!
Oh. Also, I don't care what any of you motherfuckers say. This bolt goes in this way. Not this way. Because I like to think if the nut ever fell off, the bolt would stay in.
Unless you're driving in reverse.
Yeah, but then you're going slow enough that it doesn't really fucking matter.
I don't know that, dude. With
You
how
wanna be
much
going
wheel
80?
hop? With how much wheel hop this has? Dude, going in reverse and the fucking bolt will just shake.
But
all out.
who the fuck goes over 20 in reverse, other than stunt drivers?
This guy.
Mike.
You see this car? You see this oil pan? He did that in reverse.
No, he didn't.
Oh, this is good.
The fan switch? Or the fan connector?
Yeah. Just on this bar. That doesn't actuate at all, right? Oh, sick. Love that for him.
Have to have a talk with the alignment shop.
Yeah.
You want to give me the big torque wrench for... You got a flathead? Just throw tools.
Oh! See that? One could learn a thing or two here.
How to throw tools and catch them.
I'm gonna zip tie this for him. You know, I'm feeling generous today. You can have zip tie. Everybody gets one.
And it's done.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did all that before you could even zip tie something. What does that say?
Yeah, you left the lower ball joint loose like you did on
Oh, I
the
did, huh?
I got him the extra special high performance red compound zip tie. Costs extra. Maybe snug it up. It's gonna get redone when the case ports go on it,
Yeah.
but
We need to tell Marcus that that's actually how you adjust caster on these. Because I don't think he knows.
he might.
He said that my caster was quote unquote maxed out and I have more threads on mine than these have.
Oh.
So I don't think he knows. Fuel filter?
Let me just try to yank this box open and spread the
You just throw them everywhere?
crush washers to the four winds.
I don't know how low we need it to be comfortable with the fuel filter. It's
Probably be fine.
all right. They're both on top? No.
Pro tip, don't do that.
Oh my god. I'm surprised it wasn't leaking.
Yeah. They put both the crush washers on the top of the bolt. One's supposed to go on
They're
either
crushed
side.
together.
Yeah.
Custom.
Yep.
All right, you want to get the other one off?
Yeah, whatever size. Oh wait, that's the little bleedy guy.
Oh.
Yeah, so we need
Crescent?
yeah, all 16ths. Someone's a winner. Trying to watch a YouTube video, trying to figure out how to replace their fuel filter.
Well, they skipped the part where the washer goes on the other side.
Or they just didn't pay attention.
That was one of those. My buddy can do it for cheaper.
Yeah. I'm just gonna air chisel this.
You know, I love it when people. No, we're not air chiseling that. But I love it when people ask for big channel locks, and I walk out with these. They're like, I need a little
How
bit smaller.
big? You're like, these are the biggest I got, fool. My God. Swap it out, dude.
It's supposed to slide into that little notch back there, but they made this crimp piece so large that it doesn't really.
I'm curious to see what he decides to do.
What do you mean? Oh, on the Civic?
He sounded real adamant that he wanted to like try to somehow save that engine, and I was like,
I don't know how you can save that.
yeah,
I really hope he lets us take the oil pan off.
same. I want to be the one to tell him how f***ed up it is.
All right, get your ass in there and let's see if this works. It has to get fuel in the fuel filter.
It's fucked.
Oh my god. Prime it.
I am, bitch.
A single click of the key starts. That is so much better than when it came here. Hold on, you're gonna have to try to show the camera.
Top, bro.
You're gonna have to try to show the camera the click, the single click of the key.
Oh, you want to redo it?
See if it'll do it. Nope.
It was a one-time.
It was real happy last time. It was right at the right point. That's pretty good.
2 out of 3. That's pretty good. I think it would have started if I did 2 clicks. Like.
If you would have counted to 2.
No, just like a. Instead of just like a. Dude, you just bump the key and this thing turns on now.
A lot better.
She running good now.
The engine would move less if they had not innovative mounts on it.
If they had Hasport mounts.
If they had Hasport mounts, it'd be nice. She's all done, dude.
The Honda gods have blessed you, sir.
Honestly, when I called him out the intermediate shaft, I don't think he can afford an uprated hose at this point.
Yeah, but tell him it needs it in the near future.
I will.
And or now.
I'll just be like, yo, dude, when you get a chance, swap that shit out.
Yeah, because it's gonna blow up.
If you can't do an upper radiator hose, I don't know.
I'll tell you, bud. We after the K Sports, we should get it warmed up. Well, I'll take it to the gas station, put some 91 in it, and then when it's at temp and idling, we'll see like where the idle's sitting at.
Adjust the idle.
Yeah. I think it's good that it got a tune-up anyway. It was definitely in need of it. The valve adjustment being like that far off. The oil looked pretty gross.
Well, before we did the seafoam, after the valve adjustment, I think we recorded when we started that, and it just and then finally got to idle.
Yeah.
And after we did the seafoaming and the spark plugs and all the other shit, it fucking starts on the first click.
We could even fucking do something about this. That would.
I'll probably just tell him to find a new filter before he goes to emissions, because.
Well, yeah, he could get any O'Reilly piece of shit, because that's what this is.
Yeah, just something that fits in that spot.
If I were him, I would just fucking cut it right here and just put a bigger filter on it.
Yeah, the normal Spectra.
Yeah.
Not this tiny thing that's covered in dirt. I'm just gonna look at the computer and make sure that we're done and we just need K-Sports and alignment.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh, and that's it. We're all done.
They're installed.
That bolt through it.
Do a little bit less. Are you ready for the fork full orb?
Never on it yet. Yep. Well, just based off where it sits right now, you should probably raise the front before we pull it out.
Okay, let me measure it. 62.2.
I think, well, the rears will probably settle.
Right. I'm just trying to get a good guess for how much to raise the front. Can you get a pen? Passenger rear, 62.2. Driver rear, 61.5. Driver front, 57.3. And then passenger front is 57.8. So me lifting that front corner up should put more weight on that back. I don't think they're going to be perfect, but we should get it at least decently close.
Yeah, but the rears should come down after a test drive.
Yeah. all of it will come down.
So then, where are you gonna put the fronts?
I'm gonna probably put the fronts around 61.5. We got 3.1, and we need to go 3.7. So that puts it at 6.8. All right, that one's set. We'll go do the other side, and then we'll drive it around the block.
If it's done smoking. Ready to hear VTech, man? Yeah! Yeah! It's done. The K-Sports are all installed and locked in. We like the ride height, so we're just gonna torque the wheels and ship it off to the alignment shop.
This car came in because the seals in the turbo went bad. It was like an 11-year-old turbo, and it probably hasn't been treated the best, and he was running Royal Purple in it, which kind of proves that it wasn't being treated the best.
Yeah, we hate Royal Purple.
We hate Royal Purple here. Don't run
Y'all
Royal
can't
Purple.
change our mind.
Yeah. We put a new turbo in it and started it up. It came here with a check engine light, which was the VTC code. Before we started it up and everything, we changed the oil on it, and when we went to drain it, there was only like maybe a quarter of a quart of oil in the car. So we're pretty sure he drove it back from New Mexico with no oil in it. Or
Well,
like close
it started
to no.
out with some,
It started out with
and
oil.
then he never checked it on his way back, so it ended up with none.
Yeah, or something along those lines. The turbo was literally siphoning all the oil out of the engine, so it probably ate through it super quick. So we changed it, took it for a short test drive. I noticed a slight like clacking, tapping noise.
Nothing close to rod knock though.
No, it sounded more like a failing timing chain tensioner, like valves or something. Through more test driving, it got more and more apparent. Coolant's been disappearing, which we still we haven't diagged that.
There's no obvious leaks though. We've let it idle here for 45 minutes, and the only thing that happens is the intercooler piping is still dripping oil because of how much went through that system.
Yeah. So we decided to do the first check for the VTC code, which kept coming back after test drives and clearing it, which is pulling off the little filter screen that goes to the sensor and the cam gear and stuff. I've got some pictures of chunks of metal that we found stuck in that strainer before the sensor. So kind of got us wondering how bad the health of the engine actually was. So we cut open the oil filter that came on the car when he dropped it off, and that's what we found.
We used the magnet, which
we used the magnet
very strong
to pull some of the stronger or the heavier chunks off that.
So these all
filter.
came from the filter. You can see on the edges the bass boat metal flake going on in the oil.
Yeah, so this was all this stuff right here was from the first time we cleaned off the magnet. This is all just chunks and shavings, and if you open these up, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's in every single one.
Yeah, and you can see the copper.
Yeah.
Or brass or whatever it is.
I'm willing to bet that this motor is roached. Like,
yeah, I'm more surprised that it doesn't
doubt.
have like an audible knock, but that doesn't mean you don't have bad bearings.
Yeah. Essentially now we're just waiting to hear back from this dude on like what he wants to do exactly. Supposedly that motor is like built. It's got, you know, forged internals and stuff in it. And supposedly only has 12,000 miles on the rebuild, which is a shame, but considering the fact that the turbo was already kind of like pushing it budget-wise for him, I advised him to just do like a K24A2 in it, which you can pick up for $900 to $1,200, and just leave it stock internals and bolt the turbo kit on, and those versus rebuilding that, which is going to be thousands in machine shop costs and probably needs a new crank, and you know.
Well, yeah, the machine shop's costs are going to be more than just an engine from the junkyard.
Yeah. So you get a, you know, $1,100 long block, throw it in there for, you know, a bit of labor, and be on his way. And that motor in stock form will hold up to 550 horse fine for at least a decent amount of time.
Yeah, so somewhere in the 300 horsepower range is not going to be bad.
Supposedly this one makes 412.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.